Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and today we're coming back at you with another freaking tier list video. You guys seem to like the last one, so we're gonna do it again, baby. We're gonna do it with a bunch of different ideas. So if you want to see a different sort of tier list down below, or again, I don't know why I said down below, leave a comment down below and we'll get right to that. But today we're going to do the Need for Speed games tier list maker. It's a list of all Need for Speed games as of 2020. The newest one on this list is Need for Speed Heat, so it's all caught up to date and we're going to be going over it. Now there is a section here for never played, and I already went out of my way and put all the ones that I haven't played yet already in here. So they are this one, which is Need for Speed Porsche Unleashed. We got Motor City Online, Need for Speed 2, Nitro, the original Need for Speed, whatever this one is, I have no idea what that one is. Need for Speed Edge, Rally 2, Rally 1, Underground Rivals, I've never played that, that was kind of weird. Nitro X, Need for Speed 3, and then I have played Carbon, but there's two pictures for Need for Speed Carbon on here, so I just put one of them in here to make it easier. I have played Carbon though, so it's going to be in here, but everything else we have played. We got Need for Speed Payback, Hot Pursuit 2, Rivals, The Run, Shift, Undercover, Hot Pursuit, like the new Hot Pursuit, Shift 2 Unleashed, No Limits, Most Wanted, the new Most Wanted, Need for Speed World, the reboot of the whole Need for Speed franchise, Need for Speed Carbon, Most Wanted, 2005, ProStreet Underground 2, Underground Heat, and then Hot Pursuit Remastered. So we're going to be going over all of them, baby. And in case you don't know what a tier list is, it's like the best is here at the top. You put the best of the best up there. Very good is here. Average is here. Poor is here. And then the worst are here. And then obviously down here is just never played. So these are all the ones I never played. And we're going to start in order. So we're going to go with Payback. Need for Speed Payback, baby. All right. I played this Need for Speed maybe like for 2 hours total. It sucks. I genuinely think it's the worst. I hate Payback. I don't think it's good at all. It has no cops. The nighttime part of it sucks. It's open world, but it doesn't feel like it's open world. And it's in a very horrible setting. A horrible setting. Need for Speed should be in a big, huge, like almost like a rundown ghetto kind of city if you're going to be going with the whole like customizing look, because that gives the whole street racer vibe, and this one wasn't. I don't care. I don't like Payback, all right? It's my opinion. It's my opinion. I think Payback sucks. I never really got to play it fully, but I don't think it's a good game. Next is Hot Pursuit 2. This is like my first ever Need for Speed, so obviously I have a little bit of nostalgia to it, but even without the nostalgia, I still think it's one of the best Need for Speeds ever made. It is so much fun, bro. The way the cops work in it is so much fun. Sure, there's no like customization, which does kind of suck because Need for Speed is all about like customizing your car, but everything else about it is just so good. It's so good. It is so fracking good, man. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 is such a if you haven't played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, pick it up. It's probably dirt cheap and play the game. It's so much fun. Next is Need for Speed Rivals. I'm gonna put Rivals in average. It's an average Need for Speed. It's kind of like what Hot Pursuit was, but actually it's almost exactly like how Hot Pursuit was. There's not much of a difference between Rivals and Hot Pursuit. Obviously the graphics are better car list. Physics are a little bit better, more in-depth. But besides that, it's not much different than the normal like Hot Pursuit one, in my opinion. It was a fun game though, very fun. Need for Speed's The Run. I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it. I don't really care though. I'm gonna put it in poor. Okay, I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's one of the worst Need for Speeds out there, but I definitely don't think it's average. I think there's so many Need for Speeds that did it better. The idea is so cool, like, oh, you have to beat all these cars that are in one giant race against each other. That's such a cool idea, but I just think that the way that they did it is worse than how I would have done it, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a huge fan of The Run. The car list was pretty cool though. It had a lot of cool cars. I will give it that. So, but Need for Speed always has cool cars, so you can't really like bump it up a spot if it just has cool cars, because every Need for Speed has cool cars. All right, Need for Speed Shift. I think Need for Speed Shift, the first one, is very good. I think it is so good. Need for Speed Shift, in case you don't know, is like Need for Speed's like simulation style racer. And it was awesome. Every car had like this work body kit to it, where like if you paid enough money, you can put this huge like wide body race kit on it, and even ones that like didn't make any sense. And it was so much fun building up to be like that work car. They also, I remember specifically that they had a Crazy 8 track in this game, and the damage in Need for Speed Shift was actually pretty like intense. And so I would always go on the Crazy 8 track, and I just had an absolute blast doing the Crazy 8. It was like a big demolition derby, but with like real cars. It was fun. Yeah, Need for Speed Shift though, underrated as hell. it did, obviously it's not like as realistic as like Need for Speed or like Gran Turismo or something like that, but it's almost like if you ever played Drive Club, that's pretty much what Need for Speed Shift was like, but with actual like tracks and stuff, which was cool. All right, Need for Speed Undercover. Undercover, I'm gonna put in average. I think it was like, out of all like the whole like city like street racers versus cops games, I think Undercover was probably the most like bland one of them all, to be honest. I don't think, except for Payback sucked, but besides Payback, I think Undercover was probably the most bland. It didn't really, like, I don't even remember the story, and I played this game at least like 3 times back when I was younger. The one thing I do remember for some odd reason is I would always buy the Porsche Cayman. I don't know why, but I always bought the Porsche Cayman, and I loved the Porsche Cayman in this game. But yeah, it's kind of like Need for Speed Most Wanted, but watered down. Next is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. It's like the newer Hot Pursuit, obviously. What is going on here? I think it's probably, I'm going to put it in average because, well, I'll explain when I get to another one. But partly because I don't think it's much better than Rivals. I think they're pretty much equally as good. You can have as good of a time playing either of them. And Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered is obviously a little bit better, so that one's going to go in the very good. So I'm just going to put that right in there actually right now. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, very good. Obviously, I do like the Hot Pursuit better than I like Rivals. I know, it's shocking, but I do. I just had more fun with it. I don't know, don't ask me. But obviously the remastered version is just a little bit better than the original version. I think they even added more cars, if I'm not mistaken, which is even cooler. In the progression system in like the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit games was actually really fun. Like, you had to you just unlocked cars. You didn't have to buy them. You just unlocked them, and it felt kind of cool. Like, it was, and you could, obviously playing as a cop was awesome. Playing as a cop is so much fun. I just wish there was like a better I wish there was like I don't know, they just had something, they needed something else. Like, they're all like the whole thing was the campaign. If you didn't do the campaign, there's like nothing else to do in the game, and it was very linear, and it just didn't feel like that great in my opinion. All right, Need for Speed Shift 2 Unleashed. Once again, I'm going to put that in average. I know it sounds weird because I'm like going from like the first game, and then it's better than the old game, and it doesn't really make any sense, but that's just how it is, man. I don't know, like, the freaking Shift 1 for me was way more fun than Shift 2 Unleashed. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. I know, I understand, but I had more fun. I have better memories on the first Need for Speed Shift than I do on Shift 2 Unleashed. Shift 2 Unleashed, I don't even really remember it that much, but I'm sure it's exactly the same as Shift, just with like a little bit more cars. No, I do remember. Shift 2 Unleashed actually had drifting in it, and they tried to do drifting and making it really fun, but I sucked at it, and I hated it. And this was before I liked drifting and stuff like that anyway, but I will say that Shift 2 Unleashed has drifting. I don't know if the first Shift had drifting or not, but alright, anyway, Need for Speed No Limits. This is the like app for your phone. I think it's poor. Now, obviously, compared to like the other Need for Speed games, this is one of the worst, but it has a huge handicap, and that is that it's on a phone. So I'm not going to hate it for the fact that it's on the phone, but either way, I don't think it's that good. I don't remember it that much, so I'm sorry. I really haven't played it enough to really be able to be like, oh yeah, this is a terrible game. But as far as I can remember, wasn't it just like CSR Racing pretty much? And I'm pretty sure CSR Racing was just better. So I don't really understand why I would play Need for Speed No Limits. But yeah, in case you haven't played it, it's literally free. You can go play it if you want to. If you have an iPhone or an Android, you can just download it and play it. It's the app for your phone, and it is a little bit fun for like the first couple days, but then it just gets boring. All right, Need for Speed Most Wanted, the newer one, the 2012 one. I'm gonna put it. Ooh, this is tough actually. Do I want to? So hold on, let me think here, boys. You know what? I'm gonna keep it in poor. I know somebody out there is gonna be like, no, Most Wanted was the best Need for Speed, bro. It had cops in it again, and you could pick up any car you wanted to. That's what I didn't like. Okay, that's what I didn't like. I remember playing Most Wanted, and the first car I picked up was like a Lamborghini Gallardo, or Gallardo, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't like that. And the whole blacklist system, they brought it back, in case you didn't know. And I know, even if you played it, you're probably like, no, they didn't. Yes, they did. They brought back the whole blacklist system, and it's that forgettable. Like, the blacklist system from the first Most Wanted was so cool. It was so cool. Sorry for my dogs, by the way, but it was awesome. Like, you were climbing the ranks of a street racing, like, little cult, and everybody had different personalities and different cars, and it just felt awesome. But the freaking blacklist system in the new Most Wanted was dead. It was dead. I don't even remember. I remember one car from the Blacklist system, and it was a Shelby Cobra. That's it. That's the only car I remember from the whole Blacklist system of the new Most Wanted. I can list off, and I will when we get to the 2005 Most Wanted. I can list off almost every Blacklister, not their names, but their cars from the 2005 Most Wanted because of how memorable it was. And I was a kid when I played that game, okay? This one I played recently, and I already forget about it. Yeah, I don't think the new Most Wanted was good. There was also no customization except for changing the color of the car, which wasn't enough for me. And the fact that you could get cars for free, it didn't feel rewarding. I didn't really care for it. Now, Need for Speed World. Need for Speed World I did play once or twice, and I'm going to be honest, I hated it. I did not think it was fun at all. It's a game for the PC only, and it's like pretty much heavily revolves around people modding the game. And if you don't have any mods, it's an incredibly boring game. If you have mods, it's a fun game, but if you don't have mods, it's not a fun game. I just didn't like it. I also don't have a PC, so I can't like play it either. And it's also like just so old and like outdated up to today's standards, and when I played it, it was outdated too. Realistically, I probably should be putting Need for Speed World and never played it, because I did only play it like once or twice and only for like a couple hours at a time. You know, I'll do that. I'll put Need for Speed World and never played. But based off my two experiences, it was pretty bad. I did not have fun with it at all. It's not memorable at all. I don't remember anything from Need for Speed World. I didn't like it. Next is the Need for Speed Reboot, like the whole like new thing for Need for Speed. I think I'm gonna be honest, I think it's just as bad as Payback, man. All right, here's the one thing I will give it: the Need for Speed just Reboot one. The one thing that was kind of cool about it was that it was all at nighttime. I actually kind of liked that. I know some people don't like that. I did. I thought it was really cool. Like you're a real street racer. Like you only come out at midnight if you were part of the midnight club. But that was the only thing I felt that was cool about it. Everything else was so freaking bland, dude. It is the most the only thing I remember from the whole game is like the first scene when you're like sitting in the restaurant with your boys. That's it. That's like all I remember. Everything else I completely forget about it. And the fact that you can only own 5 cars, eat my dookie, Need for Speed. I want every car in the game, and you can only own 5. Stupid design. Next up is Need for Speed Carbon. Unbelievably good game. Easily a very good game. Almost one of the best. I might even argue it is one of the best, to be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna keep it in very good. It's not one of the best. The best is very select spot. Need for Speed Carbon, though, such a good game, dude. If you haven't played Carbon, go back and play it. It is great. It's so different from Most Wanted too, which is so impressive. Like you would think like street racers in a big city would get bland and there'd be like no more ideas. Nope, not for Need for Speed, okay? Because Carbon's all about taking over freaking different sections of the city and gaining parts of the city, and it felt rewarding. So you have to beat these like gangs in the city, and it was awesome. The car list was awesome in Carbon too. The car list was freaking cool. There's another one that was only in the nighttime, which made you feel like a real street racer. There was cops in it again. There was the whole knockdown takedown system. They had the canyon runs, which was like toge runs pretty much, and it was awesome. The toge runs were so much fun. You could fall off the freaking cliff. I remember I had the Evo in Carbon, and that's actually the one that's on the cover, and I freaking loved the Evo. It was like my favorite car to drive in that whole game. But Carbon, oh my god, it's such a good game. I want to play Carbon now that I'm just thinking about it. Need for Speed Carbon, such a fun game. Ooh, and Need for Speed Carbon was great. There's a whole era of Need for Speed, like the Undercover, the Carbon, the Most Wanted, the Underground. That whole era was just so good. You guys did so good there. Next up is Most Wanted 2005. Obviously, the 2005 Most Wanted is one of, if not the best Need for Speed of all time. I think it is. I truly do think Need for Speed Most Wanted is the best Need for Speed of all time. For so many reasons. I mean, everything they did was right. The customization was awesome. The car list was awesome. The setting was amazing. It made you feel like you were in like almost like a Detroit style, like bad city that's like everybody there was like a criminal. What you were doing was just like part of the Daily Tribune. The cops there were so much fun to take down. You had little ways to take them down too that were like, what do they call them? They called them like, I don't remember what they called them, but you could take that, like you could hit into a donut. I remember the donut was one of the big ones. You hit into a donut and the donut fell and it crashed the cops. Holy crap. The freaking, obviously one of the most legendary cars in all of car culture today came from Most Wanted, and that is the M3 GTR. That's on the cover there, the blue and silver one. Everybody knows what that car is now. The whole story, unbelievable. One of the best stories in video games, in general, not even just racing games. In general, the story was amazing. You were freaking duped. You were discombobulated at the beginning. They set you up for failure at the beginning by cutting your oil lines or something like that. I forget what it was. And you lost the race, and the cops catch you. But then something else happens. And then it's Razor. Razor takes your car. Now you got to climb the blacklist with a crappy Chevy Cobalt and get all the way back up to freaking the #1 spot. And like I said, I can remember so many of these cars. There was a freaking 4G Eclipse. There was a Volkswagen GTI Mark 5. There was an Evo. I think that guy was Leon or something like that. There was an Aston Martin. There was a guy in a Corvette, a Gallardo. There was an SLR McLaren. Then the like winner guy, like Razor was his name. He had a freaking Mustang. It was black with flames on it. And then he also had your M3, obviously. And there was a couple cars mixed in there too. There was an RX-8, a red RX-8. But yeah, it was so cool, dude. It was so freaking cool. If you haven't played Most Wanted and you are a car guy and you're watching this video, you literally have to play it. You have to play it, or else you're missing out, man, because it is such a good game. Next is Need for Speed Pro Street. I don't really have the biggest opinion on this game. I think it's just average. It's average. It reminds me of, like, you know that scene from the first Fast and Furious where they're at, like, the drag races. What do they call them? I don't remember what they called them, but the drag race, it kind of reminds you of like that scene. It's like you're living in that scene in Pro Street, which is pretty cool. I liked it pretty. It was fun. It was an enjoyable game. Next is Underground 2. Underground 2 is a very good game. A lot of people would say that Underground 2 is one of the best Need for Speeds. I disagree with that. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like the first Underground a little bit better. I know it's a bit of a toss up. The only reason why is I just have more sentimental value with the first Underground. The first Underground was like the second Need for Speed I got. You know, I said Hot Pursuit 2 was the first. Well, the first Underground was the second. And so I just have a lot of nostalgia with the first Underground personally, but obviously, realistically, probably Underground 2 is better. It is open world. It has more cars in it, and it's probably a better game, but I think Underground 1 was more fun. Underground 2 was such an amazingly fun game. The drifting in that game was actually kind of fun, and I didn't like drifting at the time, and I still liked it. One thing I don't like about it, but this is every Need for Speed, is the drag racing. The way the drag racing was kind of weird. But the customization was awesome. Everything about it was awesome. That green 350Z was like iconic too now. All right, first Underground is obviously S tier. I pretty much already explained why, but it's pretty much just all nostalgia to me, guys. All right, like I understand that the first Underground might not actually be one of the best Need for Speeds of all time, and I'm okay with that. But to me, it is. I remember it just being amazing. I remember having so much fun playing the game. I think it was. I remember my dad hated it because the music in the game was like rap music, and my dad doesn't like rap music, and I would always play it in like the living room, and it was always like rap music was playing. But it was so much fun. I didn't really care. I was just having a good time and building up these cars that were riced out. Oh my god, if I could go back and see the way that I customized my cars in Underground, I would pay top dollar to see the way that I customized those cars. It was probably horrible. Oh man. All right, but the last game is also the newest game, and it is Need for Speed Heat. Unbelievably good game. I think it's very good. I think they did great. It's the only like modern Need for Speed that they have done so far that's so much fun. The way that they did it, where like you can choose between night and day, is kind of iffy, to be honest with you. I don't know if I like that or not. It's like fun at some points, but then annoying at other points, having to change. The whole point of Most Wanted that made it so much fun is you never knew if the cops were going to come after you. In Heat, you can always just like drive in the daytime if you want to and never have to worry about the cops. But if you change to the nighttime, it's intense, and the police chases are so much fun. It's so hard to get away from them. They're really, really hard. Obviously, the customization in Need for Speed Heat is insane. It's incredible, the customization. You have bags, underglow. You got wide body kits that are real wide body kits, all different kinds of headlights, hoods, and everything in between. You can change the tone of your exhaust and how big of flames it shoots. Everything is great about Need for Speed Heat's customization. The car list is amazing. The police are fun to race against. The only thing that I would say I don't like about it is probably, like I said, the fact that it changes from night and day. I don't know if I like that or not, though. It's kind of hard to tell. It's like sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't like it. But also the story is actually pretty good in Need for Speed Heat. If you haven't played Need for Speed Heat, it's new, so it's not like outdated either. You could still pick it up, and it is fun. The story is like kind of memorable. You're pretty much like fighting crooked cops the whole time, and it's a blast. It really is. The customization is so good too. It's so good, and it's got like an open world, and they're still adding content to it. So if you want to play it, go play it. Yeah, it's easily a very good Need for Speed. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of today's video. It's a 20-minute long video. Holy moly. But there's a lot of Need for Speed games, so I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you guys disagree or agree with my list in any way. And, yeah, let me know other tier lists that you guys like to see down below. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.